In the 17 years that I've been your riverkeeper, I have been inspired in this work by hundreds and maybe thousands of people, their comments and their actions. There have also been a handful of people who've helped me see and feel and truly understand the Chattahoochee River in all her beauty and with all her troubles. One of those people was the man that we are remembering and honoring tonight. Born Clifford Glover, but called Gandy all his life, and that name suited him. A fisherman extraordinaire and hunter who always wore camo and boots except to church on Sundays, and he probably did that occasionally too. A man who built campfires that scorched tree leaves 40 feet off the ground. He was a man who just loved the outdoors. And with his expert skills, Gandy taught others less knowledgeable how to navigate and how to feel comfortable in unfamiliar terrain. He was an excellent teacher. A former two-time mayor of Noonan, Georgia, top real estate agent and devoted father, Gandy had the very best laugh that you ever heard. He could get anybody to smile at any time, no matter how glum they felt. As his minister said in the eulogy this past April, Gandy was also a Peter Pan who never seemed to want to grow up. He simply liked to play in his beloved Coweta County, in the woods, and on his river, the Chattahoochee. Now, he could certainly be difficult, ornery, crude, and maddening at times, as a number of you in this room tonight know oh so well. But what you and I also know well is that there was no better friend or conservationist in this state. Gandy was, however, a conservationist of a different sort. He did not fit the stereotypical urban, liberal, bird-watching, tree-hugger formula. He was more of a tobacco-chewing, early times kind of conservationist. Now, he didn't know much about the dozens of laws that protect our river, or the convoluted permitting processes and multiple levels of decisions that affect the health of the Chattahoochee. But what he and his friend and mentor, Junior Arrington, did know was what was right and what was wrong when it came to how people treated the river. And if they saw someone throwing trash in the river or otherwise polluting the water, they were willing to take matters into their own hands, and they always got results. Gandy cut his conservation teeth on the protection of the Flint River when he was still in his 20s. As his friend Warren Budd, who's here with us tonight, told me, Gandy was furious about plans to build a dam on the Flint at Squirrel Bluff and destroy a scout camp, along with miles of pristine riverine habitat. So Gandy wrote his senator, it was Herman Talmadge back then, demanding that the senator oppose the dam. Gandy told him that he did not want the youth in the area trading their hunting knives and fishing rods for a six-pack and a ski rope. Decades later, Gandy was at an event on the Flint to announce the creation of the Flint Riverkeeper organization, led by Gordon Rogers, who I mentioned earlier, is with us tonight. Former President Jimmy Carter, a longtime Flint Dam opponent, was the keynote speaker at the celebration. Warren remembers walking up to Carter and saying, "Hello, Mr. President." Well, behind him, he heard Gandy yell, "How you doing, Jimmy?" Warren says he cringed until he heard the former president say, "I'm doing fine, Gandy, how are you?" And Gandy replied, "You remember that big brim you caught fishing with me?" Carter answered, "I sure do. It's the biggest brim I've ever caught." Well, that's quintessential Gandy Glover. A decade ago, when Upper Chattahoochee Riverkeeper decided to appeal a huge water withdrawal permit issued by the Georgia EPD to a major electric utility company, Gandy agreed to help us by serving as a standing witness. He knew the river downstream of Atlanta near the coal plant like the back of his hand, and he did us very proud in the courtroom. He was especially proud of our legal victory against the city of Atlanta. and the measurable progress we have made to stop illegal discharges of hundreds of millions of gallons of untreated sewage into the river. Nasty pollution that no longer makes its way downstream past Noonan and Coweta County. Gandy understood better than most people in this room what it means to be a downstreamer in Georgia and how much of a fight it can take to clean up the rivers that belong to all of us. That love of nature and that fighting spirit were embedded in his very soul. So in the memory of this lifelong friend of the Chattahoochee River, our organization is recommitted to doing everything it takes to continue to restore the long blighted and now recovering river south of Atlanta. Tonight, we would like to present Gandy's brothers, Taylor and Peter, with one of our very favorite pictures of their brother, taken by Joe Cook, the Coosa River Keeper. Dressed in camo and boots, of course, sitting on the back of his famous Cadillac with its mud flaps and dog cages, and parked at the edge of the river. Thank you.
Well, Peter and I accept this on behalf of Gandy and the Glover family, and we're delighted, and we are ever grateful to Sally and the Upper Chattahoochee River Keeper for helping clean up our neck of the woods down there. It's been a passion of all of ours, and I can tell you that Peter and I have stayed up here in Atlanta and worked really, really hard to become Gandy Glover so we can retire and be down there.
Okay, thanks. We appreciate it. Very nice.